Once upon a time, a bull, a bear, and a stockbroker walk into a bar. Not your everyday trio, but bear with me here. The bull, full of optimism, struts in, confidently declaring, "I am the most important player in the stock market, for I push prices up and bring prosperity." The bear, grumbling in his usual pessimistic way, retorts, "Oh please, it's me who brings balance by pulling down overinflated prices. I keep the market in check." As they argue back and forth, the stockbroker, sitting quietly in the corner, sips his whiskey, observing the tug-of-war between the bull and the bear. For those of you who might be wondering, a bull market is when everything in the economy is just peachy, stocks are rising, and optimism is in the air. The bear market, on the other hand, is the total opposite. It's when the economy slows down, stocks are falling, and pessimism reigns. Our broker, being the diplomat that he is, finally decides to intervene. Gentlemen, he says, you're both vital to the market. The bull fuels the market with optimism and growth, while the bear tempers it with realism and caution. And so the broker, after finishing his drink, says, "Gentlemen, in this market, we all have our roles. The bull, the bear, and even the broker. After all, without me, who would do all the paperwork?" Scene script. Imagine if riding a roller coaster was like trading on the stock market. Picture this. You're strapped into your seat, and the roller coaster car jerks forward. The initial climb is slow, and with each click and clack of the tracks, anticipation builds. This is the moment where you've just entered the stock market. You've done your research, you've bought your stocks, and you're riding high on optimism. You're the master of your destiny, the genius who's going to make it big. As the roller coaster reaches the peak, you can see the entire amusement park spread out beneath you. There's a moment of weightlessness, of pure exhilaration. This is when your stocks are soaring. The numbers are green, your portfolio's value is climbing, and you're on top of the world. You're that savvy investor you always knew you could be. But then, the roller coaster drops. It's a stomach-churning plunge that has you gripping the safety bar, your heart pounding in your chest. This is when the market takes a downturn. Your stocks are falling, your profits are dwindling, and you're questioning why you ever thought this was a good idea. The thrill of the climb is replaced with the terror of the descent, and you're left wondering if you should have stayed on the ground. But here's the thing. Roller coasters, much like the stock market, are a ride. They have their ups and downs, their twists and turns, and while the highs can make you feel invincible, the lows can make you feel like the world is ending. But it's not. It's just another part of the ride. The key to surviving this roller coaster is managing your emotions. Don't let the highs inflate your ego, and don't let the lows shatter your confidence. Be smart, be patient, and remember that every descent is followed by another climb. After all, it's not about the short-lived thrills, but the overall journey. So remember, trading is like a roller coaster. It's fun, it's thrilling, but don't forget to buckle up. Did you hear about the fortune teller who tried to predict the stock market? Let me tell you, it's a story that's as amusing as it is educational. There was this fortune teller, Madam Z, known far and wide for her uncanny predictions. One day, she decided to use her mystical talents to predict the stock market. She dusted off her crystal ball, shuffled her tarot cards, and started making her predictions. She predicted that a little-known tech startup would become the next big thing. Investors would be tripping over themselves to invest, and the stock price would skyrocket. So, Madam Z, confident in her clairvoyance, invested every penny she had in this fledgling company. But alas, the stock market, unlike the future seen in a crystal ball, is not so easily predicted. The startup failed to launch, and Madam Z's investment plummeted with the company's stock price. She was left penniless, her faith in her abilities shattered. The moral of the story? The stock market is a beast that doesn't play by the rules of fortune tellers. It's not about gut feelings or mystical predictions. It's about hard facts, careful analysis, and a whole lot of patience. Predicting the stock market is not like predicting the weather. It requires a deep understanding of economic trends, company performance, and investor behavior. So, the fortune teller learned the hard way that the stock market doesn't care about crystal balls or tarot cards. It cares about facts, figures, and a good dose of patience. Now, what have we learned from our bull, our bear, our broker, our roller coaster rider, and our misfortunate fortune teller? Well, let's see. We've discovered that our bull, that ever-optimistic creature, is always ready to charge at the slightest whiff of a financial opportunity. Our bear, on the other hand, is a bit more cautious. He'd rather hibernate and wait for a sure thing than risk a tumble. This is a metaphorical way of reminding us about the importance of understanding market trends. Sometimes the market is bullish, filled with enthusiastic investors ready to take risks. Other times it's bearish, with cautious investors holding back, waiting for the right moment to invest. Next, we met our roller coaster rider. Oh, what a ride it was! It was a thrilling, stomach-churning journey through the peaks and valleys of the stock market. It taught us a valuable lesson about managing emotions. Investing is not for the faint of heart. It requires a strong stomach and a cool head. You can't let your emotions dictate your decisions. Instead, you must rely on sound financial analysis and judgment. Then, there was our fortune teller. Ah, the poor soul. She thought she could predict the future of the stock market with her crystal ball. But as we saw, the stock market is not a game of chance. It's a game of strategy, research, and analysis. You can't rely on gut feelings or hunches. You need to study the market, understand the trends, and make informed decisions. In conclusion, the stock market is a wild ride, filled with bulls, bears, and brokers. And remember, when it comes to stocks, leave your crystal balls at home. Instead, bring your research, your patience, and a good sense of humor. After all, as our broker friend would say, who else is going to do all the paperwork?